Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where our major problem right now, not counting our deficit, our major problem right now is absolutely our lack of qualifications. And we're working on that. We are working on building some additional universities. We've got a number of them queued up here. But the question that we need to ask is, when do we want... That was actually pretty effective there. That was almost 10k for those 3 paper mills. Noted. When do we want to pause our construction to pay off our debt? Well, if the paper mills are actually 10k per 3, and if they remain that, I would... Hang on. Great Britain is damaging relations. Get over here, Great Britain. We are going to improve relations. Actually, we can't do that yet. We have to wait for this to drop by 1. So on 7 November, 1868. Okay. They're not accept a defensive pact because they're domineering, of course. Unequal treaties, minus 10% success chance on agrarianism. That's very unfortunate. The American Peasant Revolt will likely not exist for long. This obligation probably doesn't do anything. Okay, so we obviously really need to handle this Britain situation, right? That would be a very good thing. That is incredibly important for us. This is absolute top priority right now. We need to make sure that Britain doesn't attack us. So to that end, what we need to do is we just need to begin improving relations with Britain as soon as we drop below amicable, which is right now. So there we go. Now, in theory, Britain is just kind of stuck. And that's the idea here. So I do want to get additional paper mills going. I'm going to build... What is our current economy of scale cap again? 20, is it? 20. Okay. So we can get a little bit more efficiency from economy of scale in Kansai. I mean, we still have a lot of labor here, so let's build them in Kansai. For the moment, I'm going to build another 3 of them. We're not going to queue anything else up. We're going to finish this coal mine, this railway in Tohoku. That is all completely okay. And yeah, people are below the minimum expected standard of living in Hokkaido. That's honestly to be expected right now. The universities are going to be expensive to run. That's understood. That is general staff, though. So that's actually solid. So with general staff done, what are we going to go for next? Postal savings is an interesting one. Banking is going to come through soon. Banking is actually going to be a big deal for us. We could think about something like logistics. Yes, let's go logistics here. That'll be fine. So we're going to finish this coal mine shortly. However, coal is not really currently very expensive. We're going to require an additional railway in Tohoku and Kyushu, but actually, we've got a private construction on that going, so this does not actually appear to be a problem. It is a ways out, but I'm not going to bother spending resources on it if we've got a private construction queued. That'll be fine for now. So hopefully Britain doesn't end up attacking us. That would be very awkward for us. As in, we would have no way of fighting them, right? It would just not happen. These universities are going to drive up the price of paper. And so keeping the price of paper low is quite important for us. It is relatively low right now, and we can see that... Yeah, this was a year ago. Okay, so we can see that when we dropped down here, that was definitely very impactful from building 3 paper plants. 3 paper mines. So that's fantastic. We're very pleased about that one. Clippers are also currently expensive, so we would like to build a shipyard in possibly Kyushu. Yeah, we'll build it in Kyushu for now. Unfortunately, that does mean that we should probably consider building a railway in Kyushu, despite the private construction there. I don't love it, but we'll do it anyway. So we're going to get this finished, and we'll evaluate how much we get out of these paper mills in Kansai. It will be a decent chunk, for sure. If it's another 10k, we're going to keep doing this at that point, right? That would definitely be something we'd be interested in doing. Dissenters have broken ranks, and I guess we'll take a setback here. We're having bad luck with this. We've got 48% chance of success. And we've gotten, like, at least 2 setbacks here. I think we've had multiple bad events here. Okay. Yeah, we definitely have, because we had the obligation for the Peasant Revolt as well. So we're definitely in bad luck territory on this agrarianism. Okay. Well, for now, that's reasonably fine. We are seeing our deficit creeping back up. So that's noted. I want to take a quick look at our employment situation here. Yeah, that seems about right. So let's see what happens with these paper mills. The paper mills come online, and as they ramp up, yeah, clippers are still expensive. That's expected. As they ramp up, we're sitting at about 36K again. Noted. We're definitely paying more in interest than we are in our deficit, though. So that is actually indicative that now is a good time to pause construction and start paying off this deficit. So we're going to be paying this off at a decent rate, about 55.7K, and that's going to be, of course, snowballing upwards. We're also going to be putting a fair amount of construction into our private constructions here. All of these are building simultaneously, so we're still putting a decent amount into construction here, at least until these get finished up. So this number will continue to grow pretty dramatically. Yes, it definitely will. So this is fine for the moment. We can certainly run a paused construction here for right now. We're pulling almost exclusively from, in fact, we're pulling almost exclusively from our investment pool right now. That's good. We definitely want to be doing that. Beautiful. Clippers are expensive. Yes, that is to be expected. And we're finishing up a textile mill in Kansai. We've got additional constructions finishing up here. So we can definitely just run private constructions for a while. We're already down to 39.4K in our interest. We can see that significantly dropping off. So that's great. Yes, clippers are expensive. We're aware of this. So Russia is currently amicable with us. That's a good sign. And the question is, are we actually going to get agrarianism through here? We've had bad luck with it so far. We'll see what happens. Our outcomes continue to be awkward. No doubt about that. Hopefully it passes through to consideration. That would be the ideal scenario here. Yeah, there we go. Fantastic. So that looks good. Continuing to pay down this debt. We're going to pay it down at a decent rate here. Really what we want is to get that interest going away, right? That is the primary goal here at this time. Getting these railways done is not a huge deal. Tooling workshops, chemical plants, tobacco plantations, those are all good. We're definitely okay with that. And yes, our GDP is going to be down a little bit as we enter this debt-paying cycle. No doubt about that. But this went down by how much there? I want to check to see how much it's going down per week. 35.8 right now. And 35.4. So 0.4K each week. So 400, this number is going up bi-weekly just from reducing our interest payments. Cool. I like it. That's very solid. So let's get these railways and chemical plants done here. We're going to continue to construct at a reasonable speed here with our construction pool. Yeah, this is fine. These are all very solid constructions. I like it. That's all good. And removing from our investment pool is, of course, important here. So we're eating up the investment pool and we are paying off our debt at the same time. Once we're out of investment pool funds, we are at that point very likely to resume construction, whether we're out of debt or not. Hopefully we would be by then. That would be the ideal, anyway. This does, of course, delay our university construction, but we are still getting some amount of qualifications. Getting agrarianism is going to be a big first step there, though. That is going to be absolutely necessary for getting future law changes. It's very unfortunate it's taken this long, but for the record, I am probably going to take this beyond the end of the game, because it's a slow start, right? And Vic is a pretty short game, so we'll probably have a bit of a longer series here, just for the record. So that'll be completely fine. We're going to be completing these tooling workshops right now, and yeah, we're down to about 1 million in our investment pool. I'd love to just toss that at our debt, but, you know, that's kind of what we're doing right now, to be honest. That's functionally what we're doing. So this is looking really solid. I don't know why we're building so many railways into Hoku. I don't feel like that's necessary. Like, infrastructure here is absolutely fine, but whatever. I guess we've got a bunch of railways going into Tohoku for some reason. Can't really explain why, but I guess the game thinks that would be profitable, so capitalists are investing in this. Sure. If that's what they think, I'm not going to stop them. We're down to 28.3k interest, so we paid off almost half of our interest already. That's kind of insane. Backroom dealings have been exposed. Another bad roll here. Wow. We've had really bad luck on this agrarianism. Okay. Keep in mind, we have a 70% chance here for a good roll. And it's not happening. So that's very sad. No doubt about that. Very, very sad. We do have some unrealized taxes here. Do we actually need any of this, though? Average uncollected taxes are minus 0%. Sure. So we're going to finish up these tooling workshops and glassworks very soon. That is great. Our GDP is starting to recover a bit from our lack of construction. It'll shoot up as soon as we resume our construction. No doubt about that. So this is looking reasonably good. We are making the majority of our money right now from consumption taxes, which is definitely non-ideal. But if we can ever get agrarianism passed, that would be absolutely wonderful. That would be absolutely, absolutely wonderful. 23.9k in interest now. Keep in mind our peak was 42.9k. So yeah, we've paid off about half of our debt at this point. How are we doing on investment pool? 663k left. Sure. So we've almost eaten up the investment pool here, but this alone, we'll run a test as soon as the investment pool is done and see how we're doing on our deficit. We should be doing reasonably okay on it, though, I think. That's the theory, is that we'll be doing reasonably okay on our deficit at that point. Only minus 7k here. I mean, we're waiting for more funds to become available. So we're definitely seeing that we're running out of investment pool, right? And in fact, this is only at minus 968 right now. So at this point, we should consider our investment pool to be basically dry. Basically dry. I mean, we're still going to be pulling out of it for the steel mills here, but the railway is going to be done in 2 weeks. It's basically running on fumes at this point. So, to that end, I want to see what happens if we resume this construction here. Minus 26.7k. Noted. Okay. So we should resume this a little later on, then. 26.7k means that we can get almost all of that back via just paying off this interest, and that is absolutely what we should end up doing here. We're just hoping that we pass agrarianism between now and then. That is the goal here. So this number hasn't really changed all that much, but that's because of our investment pool, right? We're not pulling very much out of our investment pool right now, and so we're paying for a fair amount of construction goods at this moment. And that's reasonably expected. I'm not surprised about this in any meaningful way. Wow, another stall here. We are having literally the worst luck possible on agrarianism right now. With the exception of that one roll that brought us into consideration, this is literally the worst possible luck on agrarianism. These odds are way better than what we're getting here. Way, way, way better. The shogunate are still trying to petition the local police force. That'll time out in 4 months, and they're going to be pretty salty about us not passing that. But that's fine. I'm not actually concerned about it. So our private constructions, we do have a steel mill in there, which is interesting. I think that we should probably consider moving up additional wood mines. And yes, we mine wood. This is accurate. So let's move up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 logging camps. We're not, of course, constructing these yet. We're paused on our construction for the moment and paying down this debt. Down to 14.2k in interest, and we're definitely ramping up our subsidies a bit. A lot of that's due to our private constructions of railways, which is awkward. This railway in Kyushu is not necessary, is it? It is not. I'm going to cancel that. Yeah, we lose some construction from it, but we're currently wasting construction anyway, right? So I'm not too concerned about that. We've just about got this debt paid off. Let's just let this fully pay off. This won't be too bad. Like, we're going down by almost 100,000 a week, if you round it. So that's really not too bad at all. Yeah, I like it. These steel mills done in 3 weeks. That will definitely help our construction costs as well. So this has been good for our private construction. It allowed us to catch up on our investment pool, which is absolutely great. But I do definitely want to get these under construction very, very soon. I'm itching to get this done. We're down under 10k in interest now. That's great. We're very, very pleased about that one. And currently, our investment pool is fully covering our construction. I want to be clear about that. Currently, our construction is fully covered. Our private constructions, that is. Smooth bores are available. Okay, we should definitely consider swapping over to smooth bores. It's slightly negative due to engineers, probably. I'm not too concerned about this. We could go down to skirmish infantry. And for conscription centers, that's good. Do we want to do that for barracks? That will not increase our necessary artillery. Artillery is going to be very cheap here. Logistics is spreading to us. Hang on. We're on logistics, but it's also spreading to us. So we may want to instead grab, say, percussion cap. Because logistics is going to come through in 10 to 13 weeks. So let's do that for now. That seems okay. I do want to move us down to skirmish infantry. I feel like that's quite important. Religion, autocracy, nationality has now been successfully completed. So, do we want the shogun? Yes. Yes, we do. So we'll grab the shogun here. That'll be fine. There's an ammunition shortage. Okay. Can we even make ammunition plants yet? Actually, no, we can't. Noted. What do we need to make ammunition? Let's see. Would that be... Okay, that is percussion cap. Okay. For some reason, I thought that we had that, but no. Okay. Small arms are expensive, though, and we can definitely work on our arms industries. We cannot work on our munitions just yet. About 7k in interest now. And yes, the shogunate is currently angry at us for not passing that law. Not much that we can do on that, to be honest. This agrarianism we really need to pass. Surely we're not going to have that bad of luck on it, right? Surely not. So obviously, due to our ammunition... Wow, we got another stall on it. This is literally the worst luck I have ever seen on getting a law to pass like this. We were at 50%. And we've had like 30 failures. That's mildly insane. The good news is we are going to finish up our debt very soon. The bad news is we're down to only 44.1k, and I think that really we do have to back off to line infantry, maybe even to irregular infantry here. Enacting peasant levies? Okay. This is really bad luck that we've had here. Really, really bad luck. There's a political movement for it, but there's not too much in terms of support for it. I'm not too concerned about that. For the time being, I want to get this debt paid off. That is absolutely top priority. And we also definitely want to get percussion cap researched. That is a very high priority as well. Beautiful. So our investment pool is looking good for now. And we're down to just 3K in interest. We paid off 90% of this. Peasant levies is reappearing and disbanding repeatedly. Okay, sure. That seems fine. And we're so close to paying off our debt now. So close. 349K. Let's go. So all of this interest money, and there's fractional distillation. Okay, so patent skills for food industries. We're certainly going to look at getting that put in. Oh yeah, we'll definitely do that. That's wonderful. We'll get that swapped on over. And we're going to resume this construction very soon. Very, very soon. I keep hoping that agrarianism becomes a real, actual thing. We just want to be off of traditionalism. But we're really struggling with this one. Really, really struggling. So we're now about 2 weeks away from being out of debt. That's great. The arms industries do need to get built, although we're not really going to have any... We're not going to have any demand for it for a bit here. But there we go. We now have some gold reserves. Let's give it an additional week or two, just so that we have enough to not go into debt instantly. Yeah, let's give it one more week here. Surely one of these times we're going to have to get a decent success on this, right? Okay, so let's do this. We're at minus 39.1K. Noted. But wood and iron are considered expensive right now. So, to that end, we should absolutely move up some iron mines here. I forgot that we had them all already scheduled. Okay, so iron mines are over here. Kanto. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. We're not necessarily going to want to do... Well, actually, I think that we move the arms industries down here. They're a little lower priority since we turned down our military, right? So we can do something along the lines of this. We can work on these logging camps and iron mines and then get those done. That should... And we probably want to move this shipyard up like this. Boy, they just keep recycling this peasant levy thing over here. Okay, sure. We're going to be running a deficit here. We're already in debt, and that's fine for right now. We definitely want to get these iron mines and logging camps done before we swap over again. We have expensive iron, expensive wood. Yeah, we definitely need to work on that iron. No doubt about that. Popular outreach. Okay, so at least we have a debate here. We'll get 15% of our success chance back. That's something. A successful debate, and that was a 0% chance? Well, now it is. Before, I think it was like a 10% chance. We're still having bad luck on agrarianism. It's rough. It's really rough. The good news is we did get our debt paid off. The bad news is we're working our debt back up, right? But this is only going to be about 7 weeks until our iron mines are done here, and our logging camps are not going to be all that far behind it. So I think this should be reasonably fine. Reasonably. Our shipyards are finishing up now, so clippers should, in theory, no longer be expensive once we get that done. Correct. And yeah, the standard of living in Hokkaido is continuing to slip. I'm not shocked about that one. But logging camps in Hokkaido are going to be finishing up, which will hopefully help matters there a little bit, but there's just a lack of people here, right? So a lack of people in Hokkaido is definitely a big problem for us. Like, our gold mines are still only 14% employed. You know? So that's going to be an issue. These iron mines in Kanto are finishing up now. So I'm hoping that the price of iron starts to dramatically drop off here. We just finished 5 additional mines. We are seeing it start to trend downward. And that's good. We have 3 additional logging camps that we're working on. The price of that will probably come down as well fairly soon. So Our iron mines in Kanto, I want to check in on those. Okay, so we're still working on hiring here. Noted. That'll take some time. Actually, that's a big part of our problem, is we're trying to hire our iron mines in Kanto. Okay, noted. So, yeah, lack of workforce is definitely becoming a problem for us. We will solve that eventually. But for now, this is fine. I do want to get these logging camps finished. And then we'll probably consider pausing our construction again fairly soon, just so that we don't go too far into debt, right? We don't want to build this back up to have the interest payments be where they were. So this will be fine. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, and I'm going to pause this now, in fact. Next episode, we're going to build up a decent amount of gold reserves. And I just want to, if we're going to be pausing and resuming this, I just want to make sure that we're never really going into debt here. So we want to build up an amount of gold reserves and then spend those down and then build them back up and then spend them down and just do it that way. That would be the way to go. And hopefully we'll have better luck on agrarianism. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.